the marketing is done and the seller initiates the call, and then it's down to the soft skills of dealing with that person and solving their problem. Once you go from dealing with listed properties to talking directly to sellers, it's really hard to go back, right? You're dealing with directly with it is a lot better for anybody listening who hasn't done it yet. Trust me, it is a lot better when you're interacting directly with the seller.
The agents screw up. They're just so frustrating sometimes. And listen, I know a lot of good agents. The first agent that I ever dealt with helped me get into 2 rental properties. He really worked well with me. But so many of these agents don't know what they're doing. It's just a cousin or the uncle of the person, or they don't understand all the nuances. So they just, because they don't understand, they get intimidated by that. And when you can talk to a seller and explain it in English, as opposed to, the bar contracts that are 12 pages long, and you have no idea what's really going on in, and you can just say, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing it. You obviously have some problems that they know about, and this is how I'm going to fix it. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Usually so one of my big hangups, usually when you're dealing with a listed property, money is really what it comes down to, right? The price.
For sure.
When I'm dealing with a motivated seller or direct to seller, usually, especially the best deals, money is not their top concern, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Concern is they inherited this house, or the tenant damaged the property, or it's something else that they're really frustrated with, and they want that pain relieved. And I can do that while making money, because that's my top concern. Okay?
So for sure.
So it turns into a much better deal where everybody is happy. So
yeah, you're solving a problem. Absolutely. You think about what's the agent's pitch? I can sell it for the fastest for the most money. And when you go in as a buyer, you're not saying, oh, I want to pay the most for it. You're saying, hey, listen, I want to solve a problem and I want to build a portfolio, and I don't want that house that's in perfect condition. Of course we do. But in reality, I want a house that I can put some value to, that I can make it, I can put my stamp on, I can make it better, and those are the sellers that come to us. Now obviously, 27% sold. I don't know how many, I didn't track that to which our investors did. I imagine they probably did about a third of that number, would be my guess, maybe half. But our investors know how to solve a problem, right? You know how to solve a problem. You know how to buy a house. You know how to get it done. That, to me, it just becomes a no-brainer.
Well, and okay, those are learned skills too, right? Of how to talk to the seller, build the rapport, to figure out what their actual pain point is and explain how you can solve it. And in my mind, those soft skills take a little while to learn, but it's very nice to be able to compartmentalize the marketing aspect of what tasks do you have to do to get the seller to call, because that's one whole system, versus the soft skills of, okay, now I've got this phone call from this person. How do I communicate with them, and how do I run my numbers to make the offer, and how do I explain my solution to them? Those are 2 totally different skill sets. So I like the concept that the marketing is done and the seller initiates the call, and then it's down to the soft skills of dealing with that person and solving their problem.